No.
Hey folks on Google Hangouts on air, we're about to get started. I do realize that the screen is a bit difficult to see. Just know that we will be posting the presentation afterwards, and so don't worry, try and follow along as best as you can, and we'll make this available on our website tomorrow morning. Thank you so much. We're going to get started.
Shake it, Babaka, shop! Hey! Shake it, Babaka, hey! Oh, you guys already know this. I don't even know why you're here for orientation. Awesome. Guys, thank you so much for coming tonight. We are going to be kind of doing this in a very parent and camper-friendly way, trying to make this as fun and as awesome as possible. Who here is excited for camp this summer? Woo! Yeah!
That was such a lousy excited. Can you guys show me some excited? What's some kind of like good things for excited? Hand clapping, yelling. Can you practice? 1, 2, 3. Okay, Gina, can you try one more time?
Who here is excited for ranch camp? Awesome.
A little better.
My name is Gina McReynolds. I'm the assistant director for ranch camp.
And I'm Gilai Schwartz. I'm married to Miriam. We met at camp. And now we're actually we've been running ranch. Are we taking a video of this?
Yeah, we're doing a really high tech.
Ah, nice. And we've been running ranch camp for the last 7 years together. We have actually grew up at camp. This is going to be a summer number.
Summer number 18.
Wow. Yes. Right?
Yeah. So you guys already got the Shake Babaka hey down. So I want to introduce you to one more friend that you guys will see a lot at camp. This little guy right here. Miriam, who is this?
Here.
Oh,
Here, the quiet coyote. Yes, the quiet coyote is a very, very important staple at camp because you see, is the coyote's mouth open or shut?
Shut.
Shut. So we want to do what the coyote does with our mouth when we see the quiet coyote, and to make our point so much more clear, when you see the quiet coyote, then you also make a quiet coyote and raise it really high just in case your friend is facing the other way and can't see the quiet coyote. All right? So let's just Okay, so let's just practice it really quick. Okay, so everyone talk amongst yourselves, but when you see the quiet coyote, make it, and everyone stop. Okay, ready? Go. Whoa. Awesome. Okay, very cool. Very cool. So you get the point.
All right, so to get us warmed up today, you guys can shake your arms out. We're going to learn a song because it's camp. It's all about singing songs. All right, so we're going to teach you probably the most important song you're going to know at camp, and that's the ranch camp song. So if you are a camper, you should have picked up your camper packet, and on the back is the ranch camp song. Do you guys not have enough? I have enough. We might need to go make some copies.
And if there's not enough chairs, then we'll get some more from the neighboring room. We're so glad that so many people
Do we need
decided
more
to
chairs
come out
here,
this
by the way?
evening.
We can use some. I'll get them.
Eli, can you check the door? Apparently the JCC door is locked.
That one here?
I don't. Yeah, potentially. I don't know why.
So we're going to start by teaching everyone the chorus. This is the ranch camp song, so we sing this every single day at camp. So even if you don't really remember it once you get to camp, don't you worry because we're going to review it there. And we're going to sing it every single day. It's going to become one of your favorite camp songs. Okay, so we're going to learn the chorus first, and then we'll do call and repeat for the verses. But when we get to the chorus, then everyone knows it already, so then we'll just do it together. Awesome. Ready? Oh, so we're going to start with the chorus. Okay, so if everyone sees the chorus, and the chorus starts with what word? Have. Okay, so there we go. So let's do call and repeat for the chorus first. Have you seen a Colorado sunset? Hand motions are very important, so you must do that too. Have you seen a Colorado sunset? Yes, I have. I have. Colors alive with joy. Colors alive with joy. Love is surely around us. Love is surely around us. It does help to hug your neighbor. It's good. And sunshine brings smiles to every girl and boy. And sunshine brings smiles to every girl and boy. That's the chorus. Okay, good job. All right, so now we'll do call and repeat with the verses. Ready? So, come along with me. Come along with me to the hills of the JCC. To the hills of the JCC. And we'll play. And we'll play. And we'll play. And we'll play. To the end of day. To the end of day. To the end of day. Now the chorus. Have you seen a Colorado sunset? Yes, I have. Colors alive with joy. Love is surely around us. And sunshine brings smiles to every girl and boy. Next verse, call and repeat. The sky is bluest here. The sky is bluest here. In the land of the running deer. In the land of the running deer. And the wind.
And the wind.
And the wind.
And the wind.
Laughs in our souls. Ha, 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 ha. Laughs in our souls.
Ha, 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 ha.
Chorus.
Have you seen a Colorado sunset? Yes, I have. Colors alive with joy. Love is surely around us. And sunshine brings smiles to every girl and boy. And sunshine brings smiles to every girl and boy. Yeah, good. So, can I have all the kiddos raise your right pinky? All the kiddos raise your right pinky. Every single one. Esther, right pinky up. And repeat after me. I promise to sing with so much more enthusiasm when I get to camp. And I will start now. Thank you, swear.
Awesome. So in the back when you guys came in, there were camper packets and parent packets. Are there people that did not get information? We can go make more copies. Raise your hand really high so I can count so we can not kill trees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parents, 7 parents, bunch of campers. Okay. We go make copies for both of these. Okay, so we'll make a bunch more copies. That's good. And then we'll bring them in because, yeah. So basically what's back there, guys, is just some information for you. The one thing I really want to point out for parents that I love that's included in your packet are there are 14 ways to help prevent homesickness. I've been doing this for a long time. Miriam's been doing this for a long time. This person who wrote these is a genius. And it wasn't me. But please, if you guys are interested in learning about how you can prepare your child for homesickness, read these 14 things, hang them up, and do them, and it will go a long way. Campers, in your packet, there's some really awesome things. There's the top 15 or 10 things to do at camp, and there's also some information about how you can cope with homesickness, which I just went to Israel, and I was homesick, and I did those 7 things, and guess what? I was way happier. So just grab those packets, and we can go ahead and start there. You're doing the history of camp.
Yeah, so Ranch Camp has a long, long camping history. So the camp was established in 1953 and has always been owned and operated by the Denver Jewish Community Center. So this is going to be our 61st summer of operation. So it's been around the block, and we have lots of fun traditions, but traditions that we really welcome fresh faces into. So we're so happy that we have so many awesome first-time campers this year. During the summer, we share the property with a lot of fun things, including a lot of animals. So we'll have 40 horses on the site. Right now there's only 6, but in a couple more weeks, our horses are going to come down from their winter pastures in Wyoming, so we'll have around 40 horses. We have a big Teva Center, and in the Teva Center we have 2 goats, TJ and Missy, who you will come to love. They're just like big dogs. And we have 5 chickens and 2 ducks. And during the summer, we'll also have some dogs and cats that we share the site with too. For a lot of campers, that makes camp feel a little bit more like home, because sometimes you miss your parents, but sometimes you equally miss your home pets. So camp pets become your adopted pets as well, and that's really fun. And ranch camp, quite frankly, is my favorite place on earth. That's why I have become a professional camper. But one of the reasons why I love ranch camp so much is that it's set in a beautiful place in the Black Forest. We sit on almost 400 acres of ranch land, and there's amazing diversity. We have beautiful treed areas and large pasture areas, and beautiful rock faces because the camp sort of sits in a valley. Who here has ever been to the ranch campsite? Awesome. And keep your hand raised if you thought it was pretty beautiful when you were there. Awesome. Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so preparing for camp. This is some sage life advice that we're giving away for free today, so make sure you write it down. So there's a couple of things that we would love for you to do to prepare for camp. The first is to go over the parent manual, the packing list, and behavior agreements. The parent manual will be sent out early next week, and that has tons of information for it, and a lot of it we're going to be covering today. So please make sure you go over it. And the behavior agreement we changed this year, and it's really amazing, and I invite you guys to go over it. It really has a lot of our mito and our values in it. It's a really amazing document. And the best part of this is it's great if you can do it as a family. So really this is a part of including your campers in the decision-making process and the learning process about camp. A great idea is to connect with friends before camp starts. A lot of people are already doing this, especially if you're a first-time camper. It's great. If you want to connect with friends in your cabins, make sure you contact me, or just start doing sleepovers and summer parties and get used to being away from home and kind of being on your own with your friends and the people who support you. Parents, talk about camp. Talk about camp a lot. I'm sure you guys are already doing this, and really use positive affirming speech when you're talking about camp with your kids to get them really excited and to get you excited as well. And then also, this is really important, have a communications plan with your family. We're going to be talking a little bit more about how to communicate at camp, but there's packages, there's letters, there's emails, lots of ways for you to reach out to your campers. So make sure that they know in advance if they should be expecting a package. How many letters should they be expecting so they feel that you're on the same page with them communication-wise. And attend open house. Our open house this year is on June 8th, and that's down at camp. How many of you are planning on attending or considering attending open house on June 8th? Awesome. I highly recommend it. It's an amazing day out. Ranch camp, like Miriam said, is very close, about an hour from Denver, and it's a wonderful day out. We have hay rides, we do a show, and you meet the entire staff that will be there for this summer. And parents, really prepare yourself for camp. In your packet, I put in some resources. We always talk about kids suffering from homesickness, but parents sometimes also suffer from what we call camper sickness, because you're going to miss your campers so much because they're so cute. So make sure you're also preparing yourself for camp. There's also a reading list in there of books that I highly recommend reaching out and learning more about. So, Sophia. She's so good. Okay, so packing. There's lots of tips that I could share with you about packing, but I kind of narrowed it down. A question that I get a lot is, should I bring a trunk? Should I bring a suitcase? Should I bring a duffel bag? And it's really up to you. But what I recommend and what we found works really well are things that open from the top. So trunks open from the top so you can get your things. Campers, you guys are going to get 2 shelves to put your things on, and the rest of your things you're going to keep in your duffel bag or your suitcase. So it's nice if you can pull them out easily and access them. Another thing is laundry. So if you're attending a full session, then you'll do laundry one time. And this is such a good tip. If you guys have a laundry bag, bring it with you. Who here owns a laundry bag? Many people. Awesome. This is great because you can hang it on the edge of your bunk. And campers, when you have dirty clothes, you can just put it in your laundry bag, and then we'll wash it for you. We will mix colors and whites, parents, just so you have a heads up on that. It's happening. And then when you're ready to leave for camp and you have more dirty clothes, campers, you can just throw them all in your laundry bag, throw it over your shoulder, and throw it on the bus. And this will keep your dirty clothes separate from whatever clean clothes you have left in your suitcase. And your parents can then just put it in the laundry. Isn't that so nice? All right, is there any questions about trucks or laundry or anything? So, all right. Some more packing. So there's a packing with cheat sheet. Okay, got it. Okay, so when you guys are packing and it's the last day of camp, campers, your stuff will be all over the place. It'll be like a zoo. And so parents, if you want your things back, if you don't care, that's great. I'll donate them. But if you want them back, it's always good to put a packing cheat sheet. Tape it to the front of their duffel or the inside of their trunk with the things that you really would like returned. And then the campers can look at that list and try to bring those items back, and so can the staff members. Label, label, label. This is the lost and found holy grail. So when you send your kids to camp with all their clothes, many of them will unfortunately get lost. It's just the way camp is. It just disappears. But if you labeled your clothing with your initials or your full name, your odds of getting them back increase exponentially. And at the end of the summer, there's even a chance, well, that Miriam has something to say with a face.
I was just going to mention, since I often am in charge of the Lost and Found parade at camp,
We do like a whole parade at the end of every session and an endeavor to try and get people back their lost items. We really do try. But initials sometimes are really, really hard because there's a lot of, SRs at camp. So please, please, if you can fit your whole name on there, that's excellent. But if you can only fit your last name, your whole last name with maybe a first initial, that is almost guaranteed to get back to your child. Okay, but initials are really tough. So please, please, whole names.
No, it's a good point. And there are many label companies out there. You can buy a permanent marker and label your clothes, or you can try a company like Mabel's Labels, we recommend, and they can make labels with your camper's name that you can stick on or iron on.
Yeah, can we send parents the local company here in town for labels?
We can.
Didn't you already done it?
I have not sent that information.
Gina!
Sorry. Okay. We'll make sure you get the local company as well as Mabel's Labels. All right, so it's tie-dye, color war, and macabia. These are things at camp that are so amazing, full days of extravaganza where you're going to be wearing specific colored clothes. So parents, make sure you're packing a red clothing item, a blue clothing item, a green clothing item, and a yellow clothing item because we don't know in advance what team your camper is going to be on. These can be shirts and shorts, headbands, whatever you want. They can really kind of get them ready for that special day. Tie-dye. So tie-dye is a camp classic, which reminds you tie-dye when you were at camp. So we need to bring white things to tie-dye. What are some things that you can bring that are white that you can tie-dye? Raise your hand. Right there. A plain white shirt. That's like number one. That's awesome. What else can you bring? A pair of white socks. That's fantastic. What else can you bring?
White shorts.
White shorts. Good idea.
A pillowcase.
A pillowcase. That's awesome. We'll take one more. What are you going to bring? Underwear. Classic. Yes. So bring white things to tie-dye. Please avoid towels and sheets because they will come back to you still soaking wet with dye, and that's fun for nobody. But please bring many things. You can bring between 1 and 3 items that you can tie-dye while you're at camp. Trips or special programs. If there's anyone in here that's doing our 8th grade trip or task, make sure that you read those packing lists because your packing list is a lot different, and please call us with questions about anything that you're going to need for those trips, and we're happy to help. And the last,
but I'm sorry, by show of hands, who here is signed up for any sort of trip camp? 8th grade, task, Teen Village, or the Rock and Ride or Pack and Ride? Okay, cool. So if you guys do have questions about anything related to that trip or packing, make sure to touch base with Gilad maybe before you leave this evening because he definitely sort of oversees all the trip camps and can give you some good advice.
Awesome, cool. And the last thing is sleeping bags. Everyone needs to bring a sleeping bag to camp, and you will not be sleeping in your sleeping bag. You'll be sleeping in sheets and a comforter, but you will take your sleeping bag out on your 1 day overnight, for those of you who are not doing trip camps. And I love sleeping bags at camp because even though you can't sleep in them, they make awesome extra comforters or like a pillow top mattress. You spread it over your mattress, gets extra comfortable. So sleeping bags are a must. Next.
Just say one quick thing. Those of you who are going on the trips, please look at the specific packing list for the trips because the sleeping bags that we're asking for the trips are very specific. They're warm because you guys are going to higher elevation.
Can we provide the sheets and comforters, or is that?
Yes.
Oh, yes,
So
absolutely.
you want us to sheets and comforters?
Yeah, so yeah, sheets, comforters, pillows, pillowcase, stuff like that. Yeah.
And it is a requirement that campers come and use sheets So please don't just send them with a sleeping bag, because it is a requirement that they actually make up their beds and sleep with sheets and covers and all the rest of that. But sleeping bags are so great if they do get a little chilly at night, and certainly for campouts.
What about pillows?
And the pillows, yeah, definitely bring your own pillow. Yep. And we request that actually you bring 2 sets. You'll see that on the packing list, because we ask that all the campers switch out their sheets midway through the session unless they're mini campers. So that's just a health and hygiene kind of thing. So they put 1 set in their laundry bag and they take out their fresh set from their luggage and they put that on. Okay? I mean, I'm sure you guys wash your sheets once a week at home, and so at camp we really do make sure that they're switching out those linens.
One pillow is enough. No need for 2 pillows.
Unless you use 2 at home.
Yes.
I just had a
You
basic
three.
question. Is small sessions the 2-week camp? Is that considered small session?
Yeah, so if you're here for session 1 is a 2-week camp, and that's considered a full session. But if you're doing a 2-week mini camp, then there's no laundry during any mini camps. To answer that question.
So the 7 and 12 days is just too short to really.
Awesome. Yes.
Comforters also?
Comforters also.
Size sheets and comforters?
Twin. Yeah, twin is perfect. They'll be slightly too big, but they just fold right under. And you really like to bring 1 comforter. We'll wash the sheets, but 1 comforter is fine. Awesome. So a few things on transportation really quickly. There are 3 ways to get to camp. We highly, highly, highly recommend the bus. It's the most wonderful way to get to camp. We do meet at the bus at Denver Jewish Day School. If you have medication, we ask that you come at 10 a.m. And again, this will all be in the parent manual. And if you don't have medication, you come at 10:30. And buses will leave Denver Jewish Day School at 11. I love the bus because it's a chance for us all to meet our counselors right away, get to know your cabin. We sing songs on the bus. It's a great way to get to camp. The other options are coming to camp yourself. If you are going to be out of town, if you're coming from the south, then coming to camp is an option. Or if on pickup day, which is the last day of camp, you have an interest in picking your kid up at camp so that you can see camp, please just let us know. And there's an option that we can definitely do that as well. And the final is air. But if you're here, you're probably not flying to come to camp. But it's an option. Okay. All right, so first day expectations. I'd like to go over the first day of camp. So campers, if you have your camper packet, one of the things in your camper packet is the daily schedule. This is awesome. You can look it over. That's going to be what we're doing almost every day at camp except for Shabbat and the first day of camp. So I want to go over what the first day is going to look like so you can prepare yourself. So on the first day of camp, you're going to wake up when your parents wake you up. Oh, you're going to be ready. You're going to throw your last couple things in your bag. Throw them in. Good. And you're going to throw your trunk in the car and head off to the bus. So you're going to meet at the bus. You're going to sign in, and then we're going to meet your counselor and your cabin. And right away, you're going to start playing some getting to know you games. And then you're going to get on the bus. You're going to wave goodbye to your parents. Wave goodbye. Bye, Mom.
Can I just insert parents, because you're so excited and nervous about dropping off your kids, and sometimes you accidentally forget to sign in your campers. So make sure that you don't miss that first station where Dina, our Roche office, is going to be there smiling and waiting to meet you. But make sure that's how we know that actually your camper is there and checked in. All right? Thanks.
Cool. So then you're getting on the bus, and the bus is going to drive you to camp. We're driving along. We're going to turn in the gates, and we're going to all sing the welcome song. You're going to come off the bus, and everyone's going to be cheering for you. It's amazing. You're running through a tunnel. It's crazy. And then we go in for my favorite lunch of the whole session. Who can guess what we serve on the first day of camp for lunch? Any thoughts? What's your guess? Pizza's close. It has cheese in it. Close. It's a sandwich with cheese. And what is it? Grilled cheese and tomato soup. Grilled cheese and tomato soup is my favorite lunch, and you already know what we're having. So you're going to eat that up.
Dina, what if I don't?
Oh, well, if you don't like grilled cheese and tomato soup, Miriam, it's okay, because there's other options. There's peanut butter and jelly. Do you like peanut butter and jelly?
Yes, I do.
There's salad. Do you like salad?
Oh, I love salad.
All right. Oh, you're
Okay.
okay. And then we're done with lunch, and we're going to go back to our cabin, and we're going to start unpacking our things, putting them on our shelf, playing games with
Gina,
our friends.
I'm staying on the top bunk.
Well, depends on where your counselor puts you, Gilad. You're going to have to be a little bit flexible, okay? Flexible. All right. And you're going to visit some different rotations. That first day, you're going to go visit the horses. Who loves horses? Yes. You're going to visit the horses and learn all about horse safety. Then you're going to visit the pool. Who likes the pool? Yes. You're going to visit the pool, and the lifeguards are going to tell you all about their safety. You're going to get to swim on that first day. Very cool. And you're going to visit the nurse. Who loves the nurse? I like the nurse. Okay, she's cool. She's going to tell you all about being healthy and happy at camp. And then you're going to come visit me, and I'm going to take your picture. You look so cute. And then we're going to do all those things, and then it's dinner time. But dinner's a surprise. I have no idea what we're having. It's going to be so exciting. You have a question? Yeah? It's a good question. I have got a whole slide coming up all about allergies. You ready for that? All right. Then after dinner.
Question. How many campers in a cabin?
How many campers in a cabin is a great question. We kind of bounce around 12. A lot of cabins have less than 12. And then, so after, hold the question for 1 second. I got to finish our daily roundup. After dinner, you're going to go back to your cabin. You're going to put on a sweatshirt and some sweatpants. You're going to get your flashlight, and we're going to head out to campfire. Yes. So campfire is the best activity at camp. It only happens on the first and last day of the session. So then we're going to sing some songs, we're going to do some dances, we're going to hear some stories. And then guess what we're going to do next, guys? We're going to go to sleep. Yes. And that is the first day of camp. Who thinks that sounds pretty cool? They can handle that? Yeah, pretty good? Awesome. That is
Yeah, I
awesome.
think they really liked the camp. Do you guys like the whole campfire idea?
Yeah.
Yeah? And you like the whole when to sleep thing?
Yeah.
I think we got to teach them a song that will be prepared for the campfire. We'll do it quick. Gina gave me the face of no, but can we do it?
Or we're going to do speed version.
Speed version. Miriam and Gina, you're the best duo of doing it. Go for it. Okay, I'll join.
All right, guys, this is a classic. Call and repeat.
It is, and it is a song about the circle of life.
Whole circle of life.
So this is call and repeat.
This is call and repeat.
Okay.
Moose, the moose,
The moose, the moose,
swimming in the water.
swimming in the
Can I
water.
get some more enthusiasm and hand motions? Thank you.
Eating his supper.
Eating his supper.
Where did he go?
Where did he go?
He went to sleep.
He went to sleep.
He went to sleep.
He went to sleep.
He went to sleep, man.
He went to sleep, man.
Do the Hebrew version. Okay. The moose,
The moose,
not swimming in the water,
Not swimming in the water.
not eating his supper.
not eating his supper.
Where did he go?
Where did he go?
He passed away.
He passed away.
He passed away.
He passed away.
He passed away, man.
He passed away, man.
By the way, he's a Jamaican moose, so. Okay. Dead moose, dead moose,
Dead moose, dead moose,
floating in the water,
floating in the water,
not eating his supper.
not eating his supper.
Where did he go?
Where did he go?
He decomposed.
He decomposed.
He decomposed.
He decomposed.
He decomposed, man.
He decomposed, man.
Oh, man, give yourself a round of applause for that.
And at camp, we'll get to do the Hebrew version of it, which is really cool.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Felix. That's fun interlude before we get into communication at camp. Snail mail and more. Who's written a letter this week? Yeah, I didn't think so. Who's writing a letter at camp? All of you. Yes. All right. Hit the page, Sophia. All right. So letters. Now this is the lost art of communication, but at camp we have found it. So campers, communicate with your parents at home. You're going to be writing letters. Beautiful letters. Parents, a big tip here is to send your camper with stationery, pre-addressed envelopes, and stamps. This highly increases your odds of maybe getting a letter while your child is at camp.
Although, may I just interject that it is really cute when campers put letters in the mailbox that are addressed to Mom in Denver. But there are a lot of moms in Denver.
And parents, you of course can send your children as many letters as they can possibly carry. Invite grandma and aunts and friends and uncles all to send their letters to camp. Now, packages. Packages are super exciting to get at camp. They are the best, but we ask that you limit the number of packages you send to a dull roar. If you could do 1 or 2 packages while your child's at camp, that would be great. And when you're sending packages, what is the number 1 thing you cannot put in a package? Live animals. Food and live animals. Good.
Number 2. Close second.
But no food. What happens if you send food in a package? Who's going to eat it? This girl. Right.
Or little critters all around camp. We don't want that.
Yeah. All right. And there's many other ways, including bunk notes. So parents, there is in your packet some tips on how to sign into your account for CampMinder. During the summer, one of the things you're going to have the option to do is send your camper emails. You can send as many of these as you want. It is a paid service. It's not very expensive. But you can invite yourself and your family members to send your campers emails, which we will print and give them during the regular mail call. Birthdays. Is anyone having a birthday while they're at camp? 1, 2, possibly. If you're having a birthday at camp, it is the most special day. We will sing you crazy songs. We will make you do wonderful things. We will give you lots of hugs and love. If you're a parent with a kid at camp that's having a birthday, I highly invite you to come talk to me or Dina in the office. Give us a call, and we can talk about if you would like to help your child celebrate in any way while they're at camp. And if not, we have plenty of things to help them celebrate as well. All right, so how to be a camp spy. Parents, this is for you. Campers, you can close your ears for this part. This is how your parents are going to watch everything that you're doing at camp. So, throughout the summer, we are going to be posting photos. One of the things that we're going to be doing. We're going to be posting between around 100 photos a day for you to view. You can check these out. You can choose to print them, whatever you want to do with them. But it really gives you a flavor of what we're doing at camp. Email. During the time where your child is at camp and before, please start checking your emails regularly. And when you see something from Ranch Camp, don't hit the delete button before you read it, because it might be pretty important. We're going to be communicating with you about everything from transportation to camp updates through your email. Not only will we be communicating with you, but your child's counselors will be communicating with you through email as well, sending out 2 cabin updates throughout the session that you really will enjoy reading. Who here is a first-time camper? I bet most of you. Raise your hand, loud and proud, first-time camper. Awesome. If you have a first-time camper raising their hand in your vicinity, you will receive a phone call before the session with your staff members introducing themselves and see if you have any questions. And then again, within 24 to 48 hours after the beginning of the session starts, to give you an update on how your camper is doing. So within those 24 to 48 hours up, just keep your cell phones on. Expect a call from our village director just to let you know how your camper is doing. And if you have any questions about anything throughout the whole summer, feel free to call myself or Dina. Our names rhyme, Gina and Dina, in the office, and we can help you with any concerns that you might have while your child's at camp, before they come to camp, or after they leave for the summer. The last couple of things are Facebook. If you haven't liked us on Facebook, you should. We're very cool. This is a great way to stay a part of our community year-round. We do events all year round. We get together. We do fun things. And throughout the summer, we post a lot of our communications to Facebook as well. We also have a blog. So we invite you to read our blog. We'll be posting daily from the camp directors, from myself, from staff members, from campers. We have a lot of contributors, so make sure that you're checking out the blog. So I know I just communication dumped on you. You guys doing okay? Any questions about communication while at camp?
I have something to add. As far as communication goes, what not to bring to camp. We have a slide like this? No. Go ahead. May I?
Go for it.
So please, no cell phones, iPad, touch, swim, eat, drink. Okay? All these I's, please don't bring them. It will just really ruin your camper's experience and keep the campers around, around your child, and we actually don't allow them. So we ask you not to bring, and if you send it with your kids, and then if we find them, we just take it away from them. And usually it takes us 3 or 4 years to give it back. Please don't. It's really, really, really important to us. So the only screen that we allow to bring with you to camp is a screen on your camera. If you choose to bring a digital camera, make sure it's not an expensive one. That's the only screen. If your screen and your camera happen to be an iTouch, so you need to get a disposable camera. Make sense? Awesome.
If you happen to be studying for a bar bat mitzvah while at camp, and you have your stuff on your iPad, you're welcome to bring your iPad and give it to your counselor so that you can study during the new class. Yes? Can you say it really loud? How do you mail a letter? That is such a good question. So campers, when you have written your letter and you've licked the envelope and put the stamp on, outside of the office, which you'll know where that is when you get to camp, there's a white box and it says mail on it. And you can stick it right in the top of that box, and then we take it to the post office once a day. Your counselors are also great mail delivery people. If you have a letter, you can give it to your counselor, and they will also take it to the office to mail it.
The time between here and Denver.
Well, the elder.
You're an elder. We're in the Goonies.
I highly recommend. I think it takes you anywhere from 2 to 4 days, depending on how they're feeling. Parents, here's a good tip. If you want your kids to receive mail early on in the session, send it before the session starts. Start sending. We set it aside, and we make sure they get it that first day that they're at camp. Make sure that you label all of your things with JCC Ranch Camp. If not, they go to the Boy Scout camp. And that is just a place where things don't come back from very often. So, good. That was a good question. Okay, next. Camp Mitre. I just went over all this. It's just a friendly reminder. This is the kind of the system that we use for all those things I talked about: photos, blogs, emails. You guys will be very friendly with Camp Mitre. If you have any questions, make sure you contact us or look at the sheet that you're holding in your hand. Homesickness? No. Okay, homesickness. Everybody gets it, and it's totally okay. Raise your hands, parents, too, if you've ever been homesick in your entire life. Oh my gosh. Everybody has been homesickness, and it's okay to be homesick. It's totally fine. I just went to Israel, and I will kid you not. I got homesick. I couldn't believe it, but I did. But it's okay, because I knew how to get over it. So, parents, please, like I said, read that information packet. It really is the best list of 14 things. If you don't leave here with it, you're missing out. Take it with you. It is excellent. It can really help you out. And also, like I said before, make sure you're preparing yourself for camp. And really what that means is making sure that you're ready for the transition so that you can really positively reflect on your campers. Campers, also check out your sheet about coping with homesickness at camp. Campers, if you get homesick, who do you think you can talk to? Raise your hand. Who has any idea? Who can you talk to? Yeah. It's hard to talk to Mom at camp, but maybe you can write her a letter, huh? Who else? Who else can you talk to at camp? You can talk to Miriam. Who else can you talk to at camp? The nurse. Sure, why not? Who else? Who's always there? Who's following you around? They're driving you crazy. Who's there at camp? Imaginary friends. Yeah. Who else? Who else? Your counselor! Good job. So your counselor is like a homesickness genius. They know everything about homesick. They were probably homesick themselves. So if you are homesick, go to your counselor and tell them, because it is totally okay to be homesick. So don't worry about it all. We will help you feel better. Awesome. Any other questions on homesickness?
And, a lot of campers, we find, they come to us. I mean, most people are homesick the first 24 to 48 hours of any new experience because you have to acclimate, right? You have to get to know, like, where you are and what the schedule is. And usually, once you do those things, you feel a lot better and you make a few friends. But if you are feeling really sad after that point, then I guarantee you we will be in touch with your families. I talk to a lot of really homesick campers, and they're really worried that their families won't know that they're feeling this way. And so I guarantee you that we will be in touch with your families, campers, if you're still feeling sad after that normal acclimation time, and we'll let them know.
Cool. Thanks. Here, do you want to talk about camp food a little bit?
Yeah, so camp food. So who here likes to eat on a somewhat regular basis? Yeah, me too. At camp, this becomes incredibly important. You guys are expending a lot of calories every day doing all of the fun things that camp have to offer. So we must refuel ourselves so that we can run around camp as fast as we do. We serve a lot of different camper needs related to food. So if you guys have any special needs related to food, any allergies or specific food concerns, then please make sure that you list that on your camper forms. And if you have very, very serious food allergies or needs, make sure that you communicate to us by email or phone so that we can put you in touch with the catering service and we all know what's up and have a good game plan for that. But as we alluded to, there's lots of variety in meals. And just typically, so everyone knows and can visualize this in the mornings, there's always cereal. So there's always a cold cereal option. There's always warm options in the morning and a beautiful fruit and yogurt granola bar set out. And during lunches, there's always a variety of different hot options, salad bar, and peanut butter and jelly, as well as dinner. And we have 2 snacks, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. So we try to feed everyone at camp, campers and staff included, every few hours. That keeps everyone really happy. We find that, when people aren't well fed, they get kind of grumpy. So we want to make sure everyone is well fed. And we have juice, not bug juice. So the catering company we work with, Mountain Berry Culinary, they have this concept that what you put into people, you get back out. So their food is mainly homemade, so they're not using a lot of prepackaged foods. They're really making things from scratch. And our whole concept is that, you do get some sweet things here and there, but most of the time, we want to make sure they're really tasty things, but also a little bit healthy too, right? Because you're always at your best when you're putting good things into your body. Did I miss anything that's important? Oh, Gina, but it gets even better than that. It does. It does. Because what is the best possible day of the week at camp, at Jewish summer camp?
Oh. Friday.
Friday. And what's on Friday? Shabbat. Shabbat is the best. On Friday night, we have the most amazing meal. It is like multiple course meal that consists mostly, usually there's soup and salad, but everything's done family style at your table, and usually beautiful chicken or brisket. Who here likes brisket? Oh my gosh, I don't know what camp does to brisket. It just makes it so much better than any other brisket you have in your life. Of course, we always have veggie options, so if anyone here in the room is vegetarian, we have vegetarian options as well. So that is something special to look forward to every single week.
Definitely. And again, if you guys have dietary concerns after this presentation, make sure that you come find us and we can definitely walk.
I think the key to success, before we move to the next slide, or as we move to the next slide, is that we have a variety of food options. So I know food's a big deal to a lot of kiddos, and the whole key to success is that we have a variety of options for you to choose from.
Cool. Awesome. So to kind of round it out, I want to do some frequently asked questions that I hear a lot from campers. The first one I hear a lot of is, when do I take my medication? So if you take medication at home, you will continue to take medication at camp, and we're going to try and match it up to the time as close as we can that you take the medication at home. So when you're at camp, you will either get your medication during one of the meals from our nurse, and she's going to really walk you through that process, or if you take medications at night before you go to bed, those medications will be delivered to you. So that's a little bit about medication at camp.
One thing, if I can add, if you guys don't mind, so those of you who are coming to the Denver Jewish Day School, you're going to come half an hour earlier if your child is taking medications. Please, please, please keep them in their original packaging. And if they come with a box, like albuterol, for example, please bring the box with it.
And
right?
that goes for vitamins and supplements too.
Yes.
A lot of families don't think that vitamins and supplements count, but we can't accept them unless they're in their original packaging. The nurse can't, under her licensure, she can't administer.
We actually have a heaters.
Oh, that's true. We have a he nurse. His name is Aaron. He's going to be on.
Cool. Awesome. Quick question right there.
Where do you get the letters?
Where do you get the letters? Got it. So when mail comes in, your mail is going to go into your mailbox in the office. And the staff member after lunch, whoever is the staff in your cabin, will go to the office,
grab all the mail for your cabin and bring it to you during Menucha. And so your mail will be hand-delivered to you in your cabin.
What's this funky Brewer word you just used?
Menucha. Who can define that for me here?
Rest period.
Rest period. It's my favorite time of the day. Menucha. That's a time where we have an hour to read books, to sleep, to rest, and really kind of recharge for the afternoon. Yes. It's a good question. For those of you who didn't hear, she asked if the showers are in the cabin, and the bathrooms are in the cabin, or if they're separate. And at ranch camp, they are separate. So we have a girls' bathhouse and a boys' bathhouse. And they are going to be very close to the cabins that you're in, but they are slightly separate. If you are living under the pod, so if you're one of our younger campers, there's a chance that you're living under the pod. And this is great because your bathroom is the dining hall. Then you can just walk right across the hallway and get to your bathroom from there. It's a really good question. Okay, one of the other questions I get a lot is, will there always be a staff member in my cabin? What do you guys think? If you think that there is not always a staff member in your cabin, raise your hand. All right, it's there. If you think there will always be a staff member in your cabin, raise your hand. You're right. There will always be a staff member in your cabin, all of the time, even when you're sleeping. So if you guys ever need anything, they are there for you. And if the staff are in a meeting, then there's going to be a staff member right outside your cabin. So there will always be someone for you to ask questions to and get help from. Do I have to swim, ride horses, rock climb? So here's a good question. If you come to camp, do you have to do the activities? If you think you have to do the activities, put your fingers on your nose. If you think you do not have to do the activities, put your fingers on your head. You're right. So at ranch camp, we are challenged by choice. So you do not have to do anything at ranch camp that you do not feel comfortable doing. However, if you've never tried something and you might be a little bit nervous but you want to try it, let us know and we're going to help you try that activity however you are comfortable trying it. If that makes sense, give me 2 thumbs up. Cool.
Well, Gina, if I don't like what my cabin's doing, if I don't have to do it, so can I just go do something else?
Not quite. So if you don't like what your cabin's doing and you don't want to do it, you still need to go with your cabin and we'll find an activity that is with your cabin. Maybe you'll take pictures of your cabin doing that activity. Maybe you will cheer on your cabin while they do that activity. Or maybe you'll do a little bit of activity, like maybe if you don't want to ride a horse, maybe you can brush a horse. Maybe you can draw a horse. I don't know. But we'll find something for you to do that's with your cabin crew. Got it?
I think that the other really important thing to note about the activity day is that there's 3 scheduled activities with your bunk, but then there's 2 elective activities. So maybe you don't like horses, and yeah, you're going to brush a horse during that time because you don't want to ride. But then the next activity is your elective, and then you'll get to choose exactly what you want to do during that time period.
Cool. So you want to talk about electronics, and so kind of with that, a question I get a lot from campers is, can I call my parents? So what do you guys think? Can you call your parents at camp? No. What can you send your parents? Letters! We love letters. So you can start practicing now. If you guys want to write some practice letters, send them to me. I'll receive them. So, all right, one more page. Okay, questions from parents. What happens if my child gets sick? Mary, you want to field it?
Yeah, so, and Gilad too, I think maybe we can talk about trip camps too, since we have some trip campers. So if your camper is on site and they get sick, we say bumped, bruised, or broken, we always have a nurse and an EMT on site 24/7, and we have an on-call doctor as well. At some portions during the summer, we'll also have a doctor on site as well. But if your child spends a significant amount of time in the clinic, like they have to stay because they're really not feeling well and they need to rest, you'll get a phone call home. If they're just coming in because they tripped and they fell and they had a little bit of a scrape on their knee, probably we won't call you. We'll probably clean it and put a Band-Aid on it and send them back out into the fun camp world. But if there's something that we feel like you should definitely know about, you guys are our partners, parents, so we want to make sure you know what's happening with your child while they're in our care, and we'll definitely be in touch with you. So just trust that if it's something of significance, we will be in touch with you. Otherwise, just for the common scrape or whatever else, we'll just take care of them and we'll send them back out. Now for trip camps, it's a little bit different.
So before I touch on trip camps, if your child gets, for example, strep throat, and we are going to take them to run them to clinic, it's usually going to be Parker or Peyton on the other side of camp, if you will, about 25 minutes. And it comes back positive, and there are some of these bugs that we actually were going to call you and ask you to pick up your kid. They're going to get healthy after a couple of days, and then you're going to return them back to camp. We just don't have the facility to have multiple people quarantine, if you will, because the one thing, if someone has strep throat, we're not going to send them back to the cabin because we do not want to get the whole camp sick.
I'm sure that you guys have all experienced this before. Once campers or children are on antibiotics for 24 hours, they're cleared again. So we might need your help in partnering and making sure that we keep everyone at camp healthy.
Now, as far as trip camps, how many trip people do we have here? One?
I know there are at least 2, 3.
Okay, so I'll go over it fast. If you want to talk to me after the fact, we can do that. Every single trip that leaves Ranch Camp leaves with a satellite phone, and they are going to check in with us at camp every day. We have a person that is named, his position is a trips coordinator, and they're basically communicating with this trip regularly. If there is something going on that is out of the ordinary, meaning someone got sick, for example, they feel that, I don't know, whatever happens, you're out in the wilderness. Anyone been in the wilderness before, in the woods? Right? So you know that you plan everything, but there are sometimes little surprises. But our staff is really trained to handle them. So what they do, they just turn on their satellite phone and they call us. Their satellite phone actually is off the majority of the time because there are just not enough batteries. They'll need to carry them, 10 pounds of batteries in order to have phones the whole time. Okay, so if there is any problem in the woods, they just call us and we figure out a way to do it. If we need to pull them out of the trip, we do it. We've done it before, and it has not been complicated. We always get help from the authorities around, no matter where they go.
Cool. Awesome. So in terms of time, you guys can read the ones that are still on the list. I want to make sure that we have some time to take your questions. If you have a question that's really personal to your camper, feel free to just come after and talk to one of us. But does anyone have any general questions, campers or parents, about their camp experience?
You may have covered this before we got here, but for the campers that are on the 12-day camp session, will they be guaranteed horseback riding, and how many times will they go?
No, it's a great question. So if you're talking about mini camp, the 12-day mini camp, so if you're in mini camp, you get to do something really, really special. You get to do a minis rodeo. So this is a whole program. You get to go to the corral for the whole morning, and it's not just horseback riding. It's drawing on a horse with crazy colored chalk. It's apple bobbing. It's coin toss into boots and horseback riding all rolled into one package. So for mini camp, instead of riding the 3 times, which you'll do as you go to longer camps, you're going to spend that whole morning in the corral just soaking it in.
And I think that's a good question that extends to camp in general. If you're sending your child to a mini camp, who here is attending a mini camp this summer? Okay, great. So mini camps are built to be taster camps. So just make sure that you kind of have your mindset in the right place. That it's built to be a tester out for longer sessions. So we try to get those campers to almost everything camp has to offer, but it's such a short amount of time. So they may only get to activities once, as opposed to longer sessions that get there 2 or 3 times. Okay, so just make sure your expectations, and campers too, your expectations are kind of in that place.
Cool. Right here. What does the horse program look like? It's a really cool question. So if you guys come to camp, you guys are going to get to ride a horse. We ride Western. Our horses come in all sorts of different colors. Most of them are quarter horses, and they're all so lovely and friendly. And if you guys want to just ride horses all the time, 1 year you can come and do the equestrian program. Do we have any EQ people out here doing the equestrian program? Cool. Awesome. So this is a program where you get your own horse, and it's just yours for the whole session. You ride 5 hours a day. What? How cool is that? So that's just some little stuff about our equestrian program, but it is amazing. We'll love it.
But everyone gets to try horseback riding out, and as Gina alluded to, we're trying to get you into the corral about 2 times during the course of the session, and it's mainly arena-based riding because we're trying to teach balanced, safe horsemanship. So you get really good and proficient in the arena space, and if you get to a certain level in the curriculum, then you get to go on a trail ride.
So just to kind of put it in kind of wrap it up together. So at camp, you're going to ride 2 or 3 times. Sometimes you have the opportunity to ride more. Okay? Means your schedule is a little different. And then if you kind of fell in love with the horses, what kind of program can you do? Yeah, can you? The equestrian program where you get your own horse, and it's really fun. In fact, Miriam and I and Gina, we all used to run the equestrian program, which was really, really fun. And so there are campers that come year after year after year. Let's say they want something more than their equestrian program. Does anyone know what kind of choice they have? It's a program that fills up usually in 2 days. So be prepared to sign up for 2015 if you've been to the equestrian program. You can go in a horse factory where they go up north to by Walden. Those of you who know where Walden is. And they actually go to the woods for 7 days to pack with their horses. Really fun. So be prepared, huh, in about a year or 2.
All right, there was a question. Yeah.
Regarding the mini camps or she's going to the 1 week camp, are they mixed age bunks for the mini camps?
It's a great question. Yeah, so for mini camps, it's mixed age bunks. Entering 2nd grade through entering 4th grade will all be bunked together for mini camp. Same with our youngest, it's a 3rd and 4th mixed bunk. Cool, awesome.
If you're not in the equestrian program, do you share a horse with someone?
It's a good question. If you're not in the equestrian program, do you share your horse? The answer is yes. You share your horse, and it's great because you might meet someone in your brother cabin or an older cabin that rode the same horse as you. You guys can talk about how much you like that horse. It's a good one. How about right back there?
It says ride Go Traveler, mountain bike. Do you have to bring your own mountain bike?
No, you do not need to bring your own mountain bike. We will provide your mountain bike for you. But Bone Rattler is really good. You guys should do it.
And mountain bike is limited for a certain age. It is 6th grade and up. You're going to ride mountain biking. We're riding mountain biking, and if you're a little too young in our woods, it's getting a little too challenging.
Right up here.
If they have a buddy coming to camp, can they request the same cabin?
If your camper has a buddy coming to camp, can you request the same cabin? Yes. Please do, because it's really important. Usually we have 1 cabin group for every age, but just sometimes, depending on the session, we have multiple cabins of age groups. So then we depend on the cabin request list to try and make sure that we group campers accordingly. So there is a spot on your camper form. Don't miss it. If you have someone who's coming to camp and you'd like to get with them, then please put that down there. We cannot guarantee that your camper is going to be with that friend, but we do everything humanly possible. Everything humanly possible to make that happen. Okay? But please limit your bunk request to 1 person. Right.
So if you're part of the equestrian program, do you have your own cabin because you're not doing all the other activities?
Yeah.
So it really depends on how many kids we have from each age. Sometimes the equestrian program are going to bunk all together. When I say all, actually, equestrian program is for 5th graders through 9th graders. So we're really trying not to put 5th grader with the 9th grader in the same cabin. Okay? So, you know, sometimes if the older kids will put them alone in the same cabin, alone with their staff member, of course. And sometimes, depending on how the enrollment goes for this particular session, they're going to be with the cabin while their friends are going to go to the pool, and the rest of their daily schedule, they're all going to meet at the barn and meet the best horsey friend.
Most of the time, EQ campers are placed in their age-appropriate cabin, and then they're with the EQ group during the day, along with any other EQer friends that they have in that cabin, and then during meal times, evening times, bunk times, they're with their friends. So it's kind of the best of all worlds.
Do they swim every day?
So we have, so as Miriam said, we have 5 activities a day. 3 are scheduled with the cabin. And we have more than only 3 activities, so they're not going to have swimming, for example. The question, by the way, do the kids swim every day? So swimming is not necessarily going to be scheduled every day, but if they really, really want to go to swim, they can choose to go to swim. And we always try campers, you know, try new things. You know, we know that you love swimming. We know that you love archery. What's the cool archery girl? What's her name?
Katniss Everdeen.
There you go. You know, it's really cool. Do that, get better at it, have fun with it, but also try some new things maybe that you've not done, very cool arts and crafts. I love sewing myself very, very much.
All right, I feel like this corner right here. Yeah.
What time do we wake up?
Oh,
Good question.
11 a.m. at the earliest.
Good question. What time do we wake up? So, Degel, which is Blackbull, that's 7:45 in the morning. So, you will probably wake up between like 7:15 as it gets closer to the end of camp. 7:30 in your pajamas at Degel. Good question.
But there are certain days that you don't wake up that early. On Shabbat, we have a late wake up because it's a different schedule. And sometimes if we feel like everyone at camp is looking a little sleepy, then we call for a late morning wake up. And then we sleep in a little bit as a camp. There.
Green shirt. Sorry, called it. It's a really good question. When we send out the parent manual tomorrow, next couple of days, it's going to have packing lists in it. And you can read through all those packing lists. They're also posted now online. You guys go to our website under the Families tab, we go to Packing List, and that's a great question. It will give you a full list of every single item you need to put in your trunk or duffel bag. It's a great question.
I want it far back there. There you go, as far as I can go. What's your name? Alon? Ilan, I'm Gilad. Nice to meet you.
What's the age group for archery?
Archery? Well, Katniss says that everyone can do archery, and if she said so, everyone can do archery. But we have some bows that are a little taller, and some that are a little shorter.
All right, so in the interest of time, we'll do 2 more questions, and if you have more questions, you can come find us afterwards. So 2 more right here.
Do you have riflery, and is there an age requirement?
We do not have riflery anymore. I'm sorry.
If you had a connection to the ranch camp back in the past, it used to be an activity, but that was some time ago. Now we just have archery.
And last question right here. Pink sweater. Yes, you.
Do you have a dog named
Do we have a dog named Teton? We sure do have a dog named
Do you know Teton?
No, but she does.
Do you know Teton? Well, Teton belongs to who? Colby. And Colby's going to Israel on June 11th. Well, she leaves Teton with us. So yes, Teton is going to be with us at camp.
Teton's making Aliyah in the fall. So this summer he is going to live at ranch camp until he makes Aliyah.
Cool. Awesome. So thank you guys so much for coming. If I could have the campers, I have a secret for you and you alone. So if you're a camper, if you want to come up here with me. Secret, no parents allowed, please. Just campers.
Okay.
Since all the campers up there, parents, I have a quick connection game for you guys too. Who is sending their camper to session 1?
That's what you know how to do.
Great. So look around the room and maybe you can connect some other families. Who's sending their kid to mini 1? Anyone sending their kid to mini 1? Okay, so these 2 families. Okay, so if you want to connect, who's sending their child to session 2? Session 2. So if you want to look around and connect. All right, who's sending their child to mini 2? Anyone mini 2? All right, so you guys might connect over there. And session 3. Anyone getting to session 3 or mini 3? Mini 3. Okay, great. I just want to make sure you know who's in the room.
We're just going to walk around. If you guys have any questions, feel free to come and ask your question. I'm Gilad. How are you, Andy? So there are going to be him, Jordan, and Tom, except for 4 days. Oh, there you go. Very good. Exactly. You can actually start with the early I have a question.
It's cold.
Me too. Really? We'll see some more sessions.
Gabrielle?
Right.
Very cool. Awesome. Good. Very cool. Do you have any more questions, Sam? Nope. There we go. I'll let you know. Awesome. You guys related? Kind of. Okay. I'm Gilad. Your name? Yeah. Thank you. Great. What's it? Sit here. Session is 90 days. And one day you're going to roll in the second report. So make sure you do it's getting cold up. That's the how you can do it. Backpack. Try on it, store it. Well, Jonathan, did it fun? How are you, Greg? How are you? Good, nice to see you. How are you? You know, pretty good.
Molly came last year.
Yeah, two. Very cool. Awesome. Pleasure. I'm Gilad. How are you, Hannah? How do you pronounce it? Hannah. I guess it's my Israeli. I like it. There you go. Very good.
Our son is I don't think an Army Navy surplus.
This might be interesting.
South Broadway. That's,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like luggage.
Yeah. You can always get there in traditional trucks and actually rubber makes really nice plastic truck. You get a Walmart. Pretty trucks. Yeah. Pleasure.
Anybody older?
Great.
yeah. Start up.
Exactly. Yeah. So I can tell you that to this day there wasn't a situation where we're not able to accomplish. We had many types of allergies, some more simple, some allergies, some proteins that are we're able to accommodate everything. We're going to get you in touch with our catering company that makes leftovers for season. They're doing actually other camps in Colorado around the country. They're very experienced. And what happens many times, if allergies, when everyone is standing in a really long line to get food, those are your allergies. You kind of step to the door by the dining hall, like by the kitchen, and like within like a couple of days, we'll say, we'll know who you are. Say it's one of our chefs. and he'll be like, oh, Hannah,
All right, we'll see you
I have a
there.
plate for you. So it's really important. And you at this point, you're old enough that in a rare case that you're making a mistake. For example, let's say that you got
You better grab Sebby because
usually anti-program dairy, but you actually say that you use to affect dairy. You know, we're very careful with it, but if we're making a mistake, we're old enough to tell us, you know,
thanks so much for being here.
we'll make sure that you're getting something else that's very young.
It's Sebby's idea. It's totally Sebby's idea. And then turn right around and go to Magnus. Oof.
Well, at least you're not the one doing it. You're like 12 days.
No, but I'm going to be at Magnus. Are you going to be at Magnus or is it Rich or both of you?
Which is I said, you know, there's a last minute whatever, I'll go.
You're in,
Your
buddy.
turn.
You're in. Yeah, yeah.
You're going to be. And if you're not full, come to me to make sure. It really.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, because I'm always hungry. There is not a lot to lose there, so we'll definitely make an effort. So there is really always more. You gotta head it on with the main course. You go under like spirits and salad. They're usually kind of multiple times with the salad. So you can really make some fish. I like to eat salad.
She's allergic to eggs. Sophie's allergic to nuts.
Yeah.
Have you had stuff?
How about Anaim?
Because of nut allergies, working out over the oh, yeah, a bunch of those.
We haven't had problems in the past.
I mean, we're
Allergies usually
I'm also I don't know why.
So you can sit there with every time. Okay. We always have more in the clinic, but
Yeah. Probably, yeah. I don't know if she'll carry it or you guys carry it.
it really depends on that. Without her level.
yeah, no problem.
This is something that your staff member
Or 7, sorry.
this is something that is.
Oh, really? Awesome.
You're in 6th grade with you?
Yes.
So what's your name?
You guys will be able to
Sophie
tell us.
Hannah.
All right.
You're in 6th grade at campus? Where are you?
I'm a Braylon.
What time is she coming? Wednesday.
The last time I called, there were
This is something that you can really do all the time.
and they said if they had more than split it up to two.
Yeah.
But if
We were able
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
but you guys are leaving. So
to be very as far as
And then I want to be able to, but
to them and sometimes
I want to be able to
Request anybody? Okay.
and like
Yes.
pick up
All right.
but yeah, we're our kitchen dealt with it. So
Like bringing a friend, I guess. Or going with anyone.
pleasure and I'm glad
Okay,
yeah, I'm glad we're able to open the door for you. Yeah, we sent our security person to see what happened there. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna have fun. Really?
Oh, yeah? 6th grade?
Cool. Very likely. Very likely. You know. Then we're gonna do too. Yeah. Yeah. So we will see. Regardless, it's gonna be better fun. You'll see each
So
other.
you two will both
Yeah.
make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich
Yes.
together.
That is true.
Exactly.
That's
That's the one I'm gonna come and join us again. You like it? Good deal? Yeah, I really do.
My house is really fun.
Yeah, right. It seems like there's a lot going on here. What are you allergic to?
I'm allergic to. I eat nuts. Well, good. Well, thanks a lot.
Very, very cool. If you get to
Now, are you?
Yes. She's a real tall lady.
I have a 9-year-old. Hold on.
So here's what's going to happen when you come back home. going to happen two things. Okay, you're going to get... You're going to be camps. Okay, you're going to really be these camps. And then you're going to be like, Mommy, how come he didn't send me to camp when I was in 2nd grade? Yeah, we start here. Yeah.
I actually went for 6 years. The whole time.
You started at what age? Really? Yeah, there are some parents that send their... Yeah.
New York?
Yeah, they're gonna... They're hard. Yeah.
Yeah, those,
So my friend does. Well, because
We will keep you busy, I promise. They're
one
gonna
of
be
the cool
so
girls
busy.
that got to get over there. Anna? So okay, guys.
Yeah, she's coming soon. Very cool. Well, Sophie, it's super cool. Can I call you Hannah with a... Okay. It's just easier. And if you... Thank you. Pleasure. See you later. And if you don't like it, all you need to do is during lunch, come to me, just elbow me. Yeah. How did you guys hear about us?
Oh, like our
I like it. You know we're at it. We hope that you'll stay. Beaver is great, but stick with us. Yeah, it's a good day. And guess when I woke up this morning, when I opened my eyes, guess what I saw? Something that I live in around. How cool is that? So I went, when I woke up, went to the chickens and the ducks, and gonna make sure they have their water, they didn't freeze. Goats.
And I'd like to do it in such a way that she doesn't miss anything. So is she allowed to take it herself?
They're not allowed to keep medications they haven't. Most medications are taken either during breakfast or immediately after. So you're really not, or dinner, depending if it's nighttime or whatever. So you're really not going to miss. Yeah. So it's either, there are sounds that it has to be after.
Alright, so I'm going for those blocks.
It's always fun. Yes, and then you need to scan them back in your mind. We actually don't need to take. So you there you go. Basically, every single, when you're going to download the book, you will see that there is a code at the bottom. So when you're going to scan them in, they're actually going to go specifically to the file. Gina will be able to, I think what you're going to happen is that you're going to hear from us when we don't have it. Just give them, don't throw them away after you got it. In fact, you can check, because after we get them, we make sure they're filled out correctly, then we actually confirm that they're in your file. So upload it to the computer, 3 days later you'll be able to see it for me. And the reason we just don't do it is because there are probably 6, 7, 8 different over there. sometimes 450 members. There is no way for us to manage. Yeah. Thank you.
We were at our plan is to come out.
To the open house.
Yeah, like all of them are involved.
Awesome. Such a pleasure. Thank you. Did you know that Abercrombie has been around since 1892?
I was a teenager. I loved having Abercrombie. Just know they started with my initials, my basics. So I was 80. So when I had AF on my clothes, it was like it was
And you also saw the people wearing like, hey, what are you doing with my sweatshirt on? Give me a sweatshirt back.
Okay, so number one.
Nice. I like it. Very cool. Drive safe. See you later. Hello, are you waiting in line?
And then I think that we do need to work together maybe to Sam, so that you kind of like in your mind have a good game plan. I know that I'm going to take my dealer. Marla. And I might feel short of breath if I do these activities not, right? So I'm making sure support you guys can move it at home. You guys can solve the issues for us. And then if you think, you know, my ability to say there's probably would be a
Just around the corner, 3 doors.
Yeah.
So some days it's some days
Let's go.